Hi, welcome back to Thursday Night Live. We're going to uncover ourselves here in just a moment. Hello, Jennifer. Hi, Keith. I've set this up for members only because, Keith, if you want to join, there is a link down below where you can set up your phone or whatever and you can join the live. Hi, Jackie.
Are we live? Hi,
Yes, we
everybody.
are.
I see
Yes.
Jennifer, I see Keith, I have Craig. Hi, I just showed up. I am late to the game. I was like, must get it here. Of course, we went to go have lunch in San Antonio, which is a long ride. We forgot completely that it's work day and that people traffic, So we're like, okay. And then my sister's like, "Are you crazy? What are you doing driving down here to go have lunch?" I'm like, we really just wanted Indian food. It's like, and this is the best place to get Indian food surprisingly, Austin is expensive. Go figure. Although it turns out that
Pineapple Blonde, Brian, Monica.
Dallas is more expensive than Austin now. It just trumped Austin, Dallas area. So
Hi.
So basically, I got off the live with the members live. We got into the car, we drove down, had food, and drove back. That's literally all I've done in the last 3 hours because that's how far away everything is. But like maybe next time we should drive so far. But we're okay. Vacation is lovely, but I'm tired of American food. I did not want a hamburger or barbecue or anything remotely in that genre. I wanted
Right.
like Asian food or Indian food, which is still Asian food. So we're like, let's go find some. So we did.
Well, excellent. What'd you have?
Well, I had Indian and it was a buffet. So they have it. I always get the same things like the tandoori chicken and the chicken curry and the tiki masala and the aloo gobi, all my faves,
That
the
sounds
saag
good.
paneer, Yeah, all the good stuff. All the good stuff. They have the Indian food has that they can do the most amazing things with a vegetable. Americans, the most we can do with a vegetable apparently is boil it and throw cheese on top of it. But if you're in
Boil
India,
it.
they can turmeric and spices and awesomeness, and it's so delicious. It's like, hi America, we can learn from you. You know, it's like not everything is just cheese, Velveeta cheese on broccoli. Although I like Velveeta cheese on broccoli, not gonna lie. It's something I do eat. But I also got food on me, as you can see.
Oh, no.
Yeah, my brand new T-shirt has turmeric. Turmeric. I'm not sure if that'll ever come out. I'm gonna have to get this in the wash as soon as I'm done with the live. Throw a stain remover on it.
Does
I
my
am
hair
in
look
love.
does my hair look any better color-wise than it did
It
when you were
does.
here?
It
Yeah.
looks a lot better. Her hair was like orange. Okay, orange. Fluorescent, but beautiful. Okay, now it's a little less fluorescent. It actually looks really nice.
Yes.
What did you do to it?
I put the toner on. I didn't want to do it while
Oh,
y'all were here. That's why I was like, don't take my picture. My hair looks like I don't know.
well, I only took one photo and I only shared it with our group. I did not share it abroad. That's why I shared photos of our plants. Plants! Yeah. OxyClean with Jennifer. I don't know if I have
Well,
OxyClean.
I had gotten some boxes in from stuff that I don't know what happened to the mail, but one of the bags that I bought went from North Carolina. For some reason, they sent it to Puerto Rico, which is outside of the continental United States, on its way here. Thank you, Ronnie.
It
Um,
just took a flight. It took a vacation. It
it
had to go
did.
to Puerto Rico and see its
So
son, and you know,
I messaged the seller and I said, "Hey, now it's in Puerto Rico, WTF?" And the seller was like, "Oh my, I'm going to start tracking it too." So we tracked it for over a month as it went on its own vacation all over the United States. And
it took a month,
uh-huh,
and it came from the. It was starting in the United States.
uh-huh. It was
Oh my
starting just a
God,
couple of states north.
that's crazy town. And I'm taking my meds as we sit here since I forgot to take them yesterday since we were driving. And oh, by the way, my twin has already clocked the bag. Of course, I should put a picture on Instagram, and the next thing
I
I know, on
saw
Facebook,
that.
my sister's like, I love that bag. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
mm-hmm.
Of
It's
course
her
you
favorite
do.
color. I already knew she was gonna love it. So this is the bag I used. I put my little Labubu on there because I love Labubu,
Now,
and
this is a
yeah.
dirty little secret bag because this is the only time that I went on intentionally. I can't remember the name of the site now, where you could go on and order from Chinese factories. And I went on and specifically ordered that a couple of years ago.
It's beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. It's
Yeah,
really soft. The leather is really good. It's really good. Now, I
but
do have this thing though. After using this today, and I used it at the restaurant, and I carried it, and so this is like one of those it girl bags, right? The midi
right.
lady. This is the bag that you really, 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 really want. Um,
Yes.
it's not that
That's
much to
what.
it.
No, it's not.
It's
And I
very. It's
messed
not. It's
around with it.
honestly. It's
I
it's
wouldn't.
very limiting. It's extremely limiting in size. Like here's all my stuff in there. There's like two little side pockets on the side that mirror this type of pocket here, which is like useful for nothing. Like really nothing. I don't know why this is the it bag, other than it's soft. It looks like a cat face. When you close it, that I've always thought this looks like a cat face because of the eyes. This looks like cat eyes. Like that's why I like it with the monster.
Yeah.
It kind of has that the face staring at you. But I've never understood why it's been such the it bag, and people want it, and it's expensive. It's like it's
It's
not like
10
a
grand on
little
the resale
expensive.
market.
It's like super expensive.
And I
I'm
thought
like,
I really wanted one and I wasn't going to spend 10 grand on it. And I did do that. I went on and ordered that to try it out and I didn't like it at all. And I'm glad I didn't even attempt to find even a used one. I just didn't like it
yeah,
at all. I'm glad that you're having fun with it.
oh, I love it. I think it's fun.
Steph,
It's cute.
that duffel is
I
one of
don't.
the bags that I should have got. I should have got that duffel that you got instead of the little bitty one that I did get, but that's okay.
Oh, the Gotham
Yeah,
24 duffel camo. Yeah. Oh my goodness. The amount of drama right now with the Coach. Okay, so Coach outlet. Unless you live next to a Coach outlet, the only way to get the bag is through via.com. That's the only way you're getting it. There's not that many outlets in the country that are Coach outlet. So you have, what were they expecting
I don't
when they
know.
launched this? It's like, y'all, it's like, you know that there's all of a sudden everybody's forgotten how to do e-commerce. We don't know how to stock our sites. We don't know how to supply product demand. We can't even list things appropriately. Like Autumn's video said, like things sold out before it even launched. It's
Right.
never
I
saw
just watched
a
that
large
video a
Laurel
few minutes
handbag.
ago.
The large Laurel handbag never went for sale. I was watching it all day. You could get small one, large one never happened. It's like, really? And I'm sure that the outlet centers themselves are being inundated with people calling, like, can you send me this bag? Can you send me this bag? I really need this bag, you know? So I'm sure
I'm
that
gonna re- I'm gonna repeat in case somebody didn't hear my announcement who might be in here now. If you want to
Mhm.
come on the live with us, the link is below. That's why it's subscriber only. and 5 minutes just to give us time.
Winnie,
Anybody
come
can come
on, girl.
on. She's probably in her pajamas.
And poof, it add to bag. Like, why? Well, I'm not in my pajamas. I'm just in a t-shirt. But anyway, I am.
I'm wearing this.
Yay! See, I didn't show anybody. They don't know about it, so you can tell them.
This is one of the things that Jackie brought me. This is a tanzanite. I don't know what the stones are
So
around it. They're just white. What do you think?
they're diamonds.
They're diamonds.
They're
Cool.
diamonds, girl. That's
Don't
gold,
mind my
diamonds, and
hangnails.
tanzanite.
Cool. The other set is in my other jewelry box in the
I
bedroom.
I
Oh,
bought
Winnie, I
that.
forgot. She full on has the flu now. But
Winnie has
Keith,
it.
set up your phone and come on.
Yeah. So
Christiana, you can
that
come on and say
ring.
hi too. The link to the live is down in the box.
Yeah, that ring is. I bought that ring when I was in my early 20s, and I'm 45 now. And I've hung on to it and hung on to it and hung on to it. I am a klutz, guys. I did not realize when I bought that ring how delicate a tanzanite is. I've been terrified to wear that ring my whole life. I've only worn it 3 times. I've owned it for over 20 years. And we were talking, and Jolie says, "Oh, I love tanzanite." I'm like, "You do?"
Oh,
Like, I have this
well,
thing over here.
when you've worn opal your whole life, I know, man.
Yeah, you're delicate. You know how to be delicate. Emeralds, opals,
Well, I take it
tanzanite.
off. I
Yeah.
have a place
See, I
by
don't.
my, yeah.
Oh, Chrisiotis is sick too. Winnie's also
Christiana's
sick.
sick. They're all sick.
Oh
Come
man.
on, Keith, come show your pretty face.
I was just
Okay.
talking to Saya, and he was he's just gone over RSV. So or whatever it's called, the I think that's RSV, right? The
RSV?
respiratory thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Is that
shouldn't
the
be
right?
going
Yeah.
around, but people aren't inoculating their kids anymore, so I treat myself to a suite of tanzanite jewelry, and I never wear it. I have earrings and a necklace and everything, but
So now she has a whole suite. Yeah. Yeah. So and that's how I got her, like that's we traded. So I gave her jewelry, she gave me LV. It worked out great.
oh,
It's stuff neither one of us were using.
She also gave me another set of gold
White
and
jade.
white jade. Yes.
That one legitimately belonged to my grandmother. My dad and mom bought it for my grandmother. My dad always bought jewelry for his mom. And I just said, instead of selling everything I have, which I have a lot I've sold, I thought it's a very it's a very vintage setting. It's really pretty. And again, like the Tanzanite, I want somebody who could appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, I
And
love
Julie
it.
does.
I
Yeah.
do.
So I have one more ring left that and a pair of earrings that I'm probably gonna sell. The last of my yellow gold. The yellow gold and I are parting ways, never to be purchased again. I'm over it, never buying anymore. I'm sticking to platinum or white gold or sterling silver. I'm just like, okay, we're over it. I'm 45. I should know by now. I don't wear gold.
Is Craig, if you're still here, say hello.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Aaron, I was talking about you earlier about because Aaron had actually bought the um large Rowan. Ooh, so pretty.
Now, Jackie, I had some bags open. Jackie and I sat and opened them, and we never turned the camera on. So that's what we did. But Craig, here it is. Why is it not focusing? Hey, you, wake up.
It's beautiful. It is absolutely stunning.
It's so heavy. It's so much bigger and heavier than I thought it would be. This is definitely a man's bag.
Yep, Craig wants it. Craig, you're getting it. It's green. It's a beautiful, like
I sent Craig a
teal
message
green.
because he said he was looking for a bag to trade with me, and so I sent him a message and said, "Doesn't have to be a bag." There we go.
He is Ear the Dragon. They hoard. They hoard, okay? Getting things out of Craig is he'd sooner give you cash
Yeah, I don't
to
really
buy
want
it.
cash though. He has to come up with something else. He has to be creative. We'll make him be creative.
Steph says I bought a bunch of beautiful Ethiopian opals and they all turned yellow. Oh, the humidity
Humidity
ruined them.
ruined him.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm done buying opals. I have a bunch of cracked ones. Yeah, they called it a teal online, but they just called it they didn't know the name of the bag either, though. They just called it an RK, a Reed Krakoff
Mhm.
top handle tote. So
Oh, I wanted to show you guys something else. Um, remember I was talking in the um my members only live that about the Alto collection and how Dee Beam
now look
has
how
her
you,
Alto bag. And this is an Alto bag. This is
yes.
an older Alto bag, but you see what
That,
happens to it? It kind of gets with age,
what?
gets scratched up. It just gets kind of, this is beaten up. This is beaten up. This is what beaten up
Yeah,
Alto looks.
but if it's
Mhm.
leather, I don't mind it looking like that. It's when it's that
Hmm.
fake stuff that I can't stand, and it's all white
Yeah.
underneath because it's plastic.
Oh yeah.
That just looks like
Yeah.
hell. It's not even
So this is
worth
what I love. This is what I
pennies.
love about the Alto leather is that this just I think it gets better with age. So when it's brand new, the corners are more rigid. It's a lot more stiff. It's really kind of a more of a structured look. So I think when it gets to this phase, people just chuck it and donate it. And I like, please let me rescue that bag. And I stole this from um Goodwill and bought it.
The bag that
Cheap
went on
Goodwill
the
bag.
trip for a month, well, over a month, was this one, and it needs to be
Mhm.
stuffed and filled out. But remember that Nancy sent me that bag to try, and I said I'm going to get another one of those because it's that funky gold color, which is fine, and I do carry it. But look at the green one, and this is the
That one's
one. Oh,
green.
and this came on it. Whoever had it,
Mhm.
and they've got
Yep.
it on there in such a way that I don't want to try to take it off. It's a
Yep.
Coach.
Leave it
It's a
on
co-
there.
it's a
Okay.
Coach Polar Bear, and then it came with that black wallet that Jackie showed in her live earlier. And I knew it was in here, but I was looking all through the box and found it inside the bag and said, "Here," because I knew I wasn't going to keep that wallet because I have a long wallet I don't use. So why did I need another one, right?
Well, I have to tell you my story when we were driving to
Yes.
Florida.
The Rock.
The rock hit my window. So we're driving in Austin. We didn't even make it out of Texas. We didn't even make it. We made it out of our city going to the next city. And we're driving up to Austin and we were behind a big old truck and it bounced. A little rock bounced on our windshield. And we were trying to beat the rain or beat the snow, right? So we're driving into Florida, our friends with us, and we're talking about this crack on the windshield, and she's stressed out because we're in Mobile, and she's like, "Hey, it's cold. It's snowing. It's freezing weather. We need to get your glass patched before we keep going in case it gets worse." So James is talking to Safe Light, I think is our safe, whatever that glass
Safe
company
life
is,
repair.
and
Safe life replace.
that one. And we're talking to those people, trying to get an appointment in Jacksonville because that's where we're going to. We don't live in Jacksonville. We're driving to Jacksonville. We live in Texas. The incident happened in Texas. Our insurance is USAA. So I swear, James was on the phone for 30 minutes talking to them like, oh, and then we have this location. Because when you call these people, it goes to a national routing, even though you say, I want the location that's in Jacksonville, it
Right.
goes to a router and they're going, oh, and we have one over here next to this location, next to that location. We are not with that location is our home address. That is not where we are right now. It's like talking, I swear, they're reading a script. Cognitive thought is not high, you
Not
know?
listening.
So we finally got our so that morning after we had met Jennifer at the hotel and we had breakfast and it was fantastic. We drove over to the glass repair place, and while we're waiting for them to patch this like 2 millimeter crack with whatever they put in there, uh my friend is on her phone doing a work conference phone while we're sitting in the and it was like forever. It's like, why are we here for an hour waiting for like a 10-minute patch? So basically, we got it done. But yeah, on the way to Florida on vacation, our car got hit by, a rock. And then I didn't tell you all this when we were talking about this in my other live was that I am on the boat in the Bahamas. Okay, we are literally in the Bahamas at this point. We are docked. We are neither Nassau or we're at Lookout Cay, right? And I'm getting my phone. So my phone's on airplane mode. So all of the notifications roll through, but I can't really access them. I can't respond to them. I can just see that they've shown up, right? And I have a Samsung phone. So I see on my cell phone that my brother-in-law says, "Where are you?" And then I have another person that's in my subscriber and lives in my neighborhood says, "Hey Jack, isn't that your address?" And I'm like, "Oh crap, what's happening with our house?" And then next thing I hear is another thing like the SAPD or something, like the cops called or something. And I'm like, James, text your brother, because on iMessage can go through where cell MSS message or RSS message or whatever system is different, right? So anyway, James is iMessaging his brother, like, hey, we're in the middle of the ocean. What is happening? So apparently our house went nuts while we were gone, and our Ring camera over our garage had been going off for days.
Um,
And our
does
neighbors
it make a
finally
loud
said,
noise?
it made a big beeping, like beep, 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 but it didn't
Oh
do anything.
no.
So in my neighborhood, my neighbors are like, they called the cops for a wellness check because they hadn't seen our car. We didn't tell them we're on vacation. Like our family doesn't freaking know. Nobody looks at my Instagram or Facebook because it's all very publicly listed. And my friend's like, don't tell people you're going to be out of town. I'm like, look, nobody knows if our house doesn't have a house sitter. It's fine. If we come home and the house is gone and blown away, we'll deal with it. Like I'm not gonna live my life worried about this. And so while we're gone, our house is yelling and cops have been called. My sister's trying to get a hold of my other friend, and all the people have my access to my house. By the way, my house has a Ring combination code. They have standing
Okay.
codes that they can get in whenever they want, but they're like, they don't remember. They don't remember. And my sister's like, oh, how do I get into your house again? I'm like, Jen, we have lived there for 8 years. Your code has never changed. It's still the same code. So, so anyway, yeah,
Welcome
that's the
in,
drama.
Dawn
So
and
we
Morella
had
and whoever else I didn't
a
see. A rock
rock in the windshield.
and the alarm going off.
Cops are called. The alarm went off. And as we were driving, and we're somewhere in Mississippi or Bama, we're in Bama. We had just
Mm.
left. We had left, right? And so we're driving, and I look over, and there's a face on the car, right? And I look over, I'm like,
I was gonna
what the
say,
hell?
in
Basically,
Florida doesn't have rocks.
low pressure light came on my car. We're like, what
Oh,
the hell? Because we're thinking, because we went through, I mean, I think all of High 10 is under construction at some point. Every state we went through, part of High 10 was under construction. So we're like, okay, fine. So at some point we pull over to a rest area. We travel with our own pressure and air pump for tires because James is super paranoid about his tires. So
right.
he's over there checking every tire, the look of concern. And I'm thinking, please, Lord Jesus, please, I do not need to buy 4 new tires
Tires. Yes.
right now. It's like, please let it be okay. That's what's going through my head.
I still can't
Like,
believe
all the,
you woke up in Biloxi and it was snowing. Now, when I
yeah.
was there in
Mhm.
87, was it 1987? I was at tech school at Keesler Air Force Base there in Biloxi, and it snowed that year. We were marching around in the snow. I cannot believe you had to drive in snow. Blows my mind.
We drove in snow. We drove in rain. We drove in snow. We had rocks. We had cops. We had and we got her a T-shirt, and Jennifer has the other T-shirt just like it. You know. So that is the Buc-ee's from Luling, Texas. That is the largest Buc-ee's that they make. That is the biggest one, and they will not make one bigger than that one now. For a hot minute second, Tennessee had the largest one. Well, Texas couldn't handle that. So Texas went and
I
built a
had to
bigger
build a
one.
bigger
Now
one.
that is one yeah, so we built the biggest one there is. They're not gonna be outbuilt. So but here's the thing. When we go to Florida, we wear Buc-ee's t-shirts. And people look at us like, really? I'm like, y'all don't understand. Everybody in Florida knows King Mouse. King Mouse is there. People hate, they're either love the King Mouse or they're tired of the King Mouse. But when you wear a Buc-ee's t-shirt, people will talk to you and say, Buc-ee's? Seriously.
I've never been to a
Employees.
Buc-ee's, and I lived right down the road from one for a long time over in Daytona. What is Buc-ee's? Explain.
Y'all, okay, Buc-ee's Buc-ee's is a gas station. You're like, what? You need to go to YouTube, Jennifer, and just type in Buc-ee's and see the what like Europeans react to Buc-ee's and stuff. Is so funny because Buc-ee's is just a commercial enterprise, but not for truckers. So you know how the bigger truck stops like TA, Flying J, Pilot, they're all meant for big cross country truckers, diesel, and their truck stops, right? Well, this is Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is a large gas station meant for only passenger cars, not big trucks. It has the cleanest restrooms, and it just has is always. You walk into Buc-ee's and you spend $90 before you bought your gas.
Do
Okay,
you?
that's Buc-ee's.
I
They
sent
like
her.
pull out.
I sent her a TikTok earlier today, and it said, "Did y'all hear that the son of whatever the guy who owns Buc-ee's was caught putting cameras in the ladies' bathroom?" Well, all I have to say about that is you can look at my butthole as long as these are the cleanest bathrooms. I was like, what? I sent it to them earlier.
Well, $90 and several hours later, minimum. Oh yeah, Buc-ee's
Oh,
is
yeah.
it is like an enterprise. The first time I went to a Buc-ee's, and this is like more than 10 years ago, well over like maybe 15 years ago. The first time I went to a Buc-ee's, I walked in there and there was like full on shopping stuff, like local Texas things like cowhides and furniture and lodge cast iron pans and like the Fredericksburg Field stuff. It's just like, oh my gosh! Like it looks like you can buy your birthday gifts, get your 99-cent drink, use the restroom, and then buy gas and get a car wash. I mean, it's like everything is in there, and it is on the weekends insanity. They have beef jerky. They're known for their brisket barbecue. I don't really like their barbecue because I don't it's too saucy. I don't like sauce. So but anyway, they have
Oh,
a whole snack produce section, a whole snack section of just like its own things.
it's
It's a lot.
huge. And for those that came in later, maybe Katie and Dawn, um, the link to join the live is actually down in the description. If anybody wants to come on, they
Um,
can.
Jennifer, yeah, they're right off the highway. So Texas is strange. Texas, unlike other states, we have highways with frontage roads. And you're like, what the hell? So all of our commerce really is right off the highways. So when you're driving down 10 or 35 or any of the highways in Texas, we are really good at getting you off the highway and on the highway because we want you to buy
Yeah,
things and get back on. Where in other states, you drive
they're
down the
not.
highway and it's like nothing, trees, nothing but trees. And if you want like some weird thing like in Mississippi, when I drive through Mississippi, all the
Mm-hmm.
food places are attached to gas stations. Like
Mm-hmm.
literally, if you want to eat food, you have to stop to a gas station. It is weird, you know. So when we were driving back from Florida, we had breakfast at Jolie's, Casa Jolie. She made us awesome French toast, y'all. And I think James was he had like four pieces of French, and not little pieces of French toast. These were big pieces of French toast, okay? He was very
I
happy. He
got
had a very, very happy, yeah.
I made them out of the thick Hawaiian bread slices. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
why they tasted like that.
Yeah. So we ate it. We had breakfast at Jolie's house. We had lunch at the Buc-ee's in Bama, Alabama, and then we had dinner in Baton Rouge. We went to a place called Rice and Rue, and we've been there before. It's in like the most ghetto place of Baton Rouge you've ever been to. It is like next to the Dollar Tree, next
Well,
to I mean, next to the Plasma Center. Next to the
nice.
Plasma Center and the Dollar Tree. I'm telling you, it's ghetto, but the food's good. So we're like, is it worth going there? Yes, yes. We go there every time we can go through
Now,
Baton Rouge.
Jackie, when she was coming to see me, they actually stopped and ate at Wawa, which happens to be the Wawa we go to for lunch sometimes.
And I was like, I told James what you told me about that Wawa because James and I love the Wawa. We love Wawa coffee. They have the best coffee. They have the best milk and condiment set up for your drinks. If you like almond milk, oat milk, I don't know, whatever milk, they probably have it, you know. But what I care about is they have half and half. I'm like, thank
Yes.
you, real half and half, you know. So
How
I
did you
go to
like
Wawa
my
to get.
coffee?
I like your coffee. I like your coffee if it's stronger though. It could be stronger. But that's
No,
just because
really?
yeah, I know, right? You're like, Jackie,
Well,
what?
I just set up that new coffee pot and I only put two
Uh-huh.
scoops in it because I
Ah.
use espresso.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably should have put more because that coffee pot was a little bit bigger than I
Mm-hmm.
thought, I think. Yeah.
But so
That
we
was the
went to the
first
Wawa and
time we made coffee in that, so.
so I told Jolie about we went to this Wawa right down the road from her house, and she's like, "Oh, that one." And I'm like, "Yeah, what's wrong with that one?" She's like, "On Sunday, it is because we drove through her whole town, right? We went through the whole town looking for some place to get lunch because we had just driven up from Orlando, and we're like, let's figure out lunch, and we're driving through the whole town, so we're casing out the joint. We really are. We're looking at all the little places, and I'm like, this is the weirdest town
It
because
is.
our town here in Texas, um, it is very common to have local establishments like mom and pop, like locally
Mm-hmm.
run, the Gonzalez's Mexican restaurant, the Taco Henry's or something. There's small pop. They're not national franchises because to put a national franchise into a town, any town. Like if you put it in a McDonald's or a Burger King or whatever, they have to have an estimate of how much commerce they're going to generate to put that location in there. So the town she's in, I swear, there was like 10, at least 10 food establishments, but they're all national brands. It's all like Pizza Hut, Domino's, you know, all the national where there's
Yes.
so it's weird because instead of having a local people owning and operating a restaurant
Instead, what
where
were
the
there a
money would
lot
stay
of?
local to fast food, just tons and
No,
tons of
no,
fast
not
food.
restaurant wise.
Oh, there was, I cannot tell you how many thrift stores I saw in churches. I could not, and most of
Yes.
those thrift
It's
stores
all
are church
churches.
supported they're churches
Yes.
and thrift stores supporting churches.
And you know how you
So many
came
thrifts.
from Wawa and then you turned
Yeah.
right on my road? Had you kept going straight, there were four more churches on your right,
Hmm. Mm.
all of different congregations on the right. So it is just church after church after church after church. Okay. I was driving when
I'm
Jackie
fasting.
was talking about going to San Antonio for lunch today. My community has a growing Indian population, at least 10 Indian restaurants and a couple of grocery stores. Get some good food. I tried to join on my phone. How do I do it? The link is down below, Jackie. How does she do it? She just hits the link.
Well,
Oh,
she
there
can
she
see
is.
in the there. Yeah, she's thrown up in the back. Hey,
Welcome, Dawn. How are you?
I heard talk about Wawa, so I figured I'd join since you invited people. Yeah.
We love the Wawa. I love
Yeah.
the Wawa.
I was there today at the one near me.
They used to be
And
just up north. We got them a few years ago.
I heard they're expanding. They do make good
Yeah.
hoagies.
Yeah.
we
Good
got the
breakfast
bread meatball
sandwiches.
sub, the meatball sub, and the Philly cheesesteak or something, whatever. Mm. But apparently, that is the lunch place in Jolie's town. That is at the local gas station, the
Oh, you were
Walmart.
going to
That's
tell
where
the
everybody
story that I
goes.
told you about Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently on Sunday, her local Wawa becomes the new church revival because that's where all the after Sunday people go because there's nowhere to eat in this place. There's an Italian restaurant and a Mexican restaurant, and everything else is fast food. So there's no local restaurant. So people go to the Wawa to go eat their Sunday after church food, and they're in there singing and dancing. This is a gas station. It's a nice gas station. It's still a gas station.
Yeah, they were singing hymns in the bathroom last
Oh,
time
hell.
I was there on a Sunday.
All right. Do you want to know what happened at my Wawa? When I say my Wawa, I mean the one near my office in town. So I went yesterday because I don't know if you guys have it at your Wawa, but they have these little turkey pinwheel thingies, which is like a turkey wrap, and they cut it up and it looks like pieces of
Oh, yeah, I
steak.
know what you're talking about.
So I was in the mood to go and get one of those. So I go to the Wawa, and there was one of the regular crazy people that was around, and he was screaming and screaming, I'm gonna kill the white girl! I'm gonna kill the white girl! As soon as I get out of here! So I'm thinking, oh God, this guy's crazy. And I give a quick look around, and I got like a 1 in 3 chance that it's gonna be me. They don't get him out of there. And I'm like, oh God, please get him out. And I saw the same guy this morning on another corner arguing with some other people. And when I say arguing, I mean, he was
Himself.
just attacking, yeah, and doing his usual stuff. But yeah, it was a scary experience. And the people that work there are saying, I hope they don't close this one down because they've had to close so many of them in Center
Oh,
City. So yeah, it was bad.
oh my goodness. My OR story, I was going to hold it for a Jackie's members only because of the subject matter.
Oh,
But so I decided I'm going to go ahead and tell it because I made this like subscriber only tonight because I knew I was putting the link down there so that anybody who is in the chat could join if they wanted to. Of
right.
course, that doesn't mean I'm going to put them on the stage in case it's, a troll. But yeah. So I decided I will tell it in here. So this is a trauma story when I worked in trauma. And what we had these grocery stores. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Albertsons, but we used to
Yeah.
have 24-hour grocery stores called Albertsons. And they had a floral department, and they would often have little ceramic planters and stuff outside. And one was a white lion. And we got this whole story because there were witnesses. So this man picks up one of the white lion ceramics, got dirt in it and everything.
Oh my God.
By its head and breaks it on. So now he has this sharp, jagged edge thing. He drops his pants. Grabs his nuts, cuts them off.
Oh my God.
And eats them.
Oh my
God. So he comes to us as a bleeding trauma. Of course, his crotch is bleeding, his sack's all open and everything.
Oh my God. Was he smoking wet or something like that? Because I've heard stories like that.
He was crazy. He was a harsh schizophrenic.
God.
Anyway, he was married. And his wife just wanted to know which Albertsons it was because she wasn't going to show her face there. That's what she said. God. Anyway, so we get this guy in. There's always a funny part, or I'm not going to tell the story. So I worked at a trauma center that was a training trauma center. And wait a minute. I'm going to hold that. I want you to know that about 10 or 15 years later, I went to nursing school. after, because I was a surgical technologist then. My hands were in the field. I was with the doctors, and that's what I did at that
Right.
time. But I went back to school, went to nursing school. Now 10 or 15 years, I can't remember, had passed since this incident. And
Oh,
no shit of a lie, I am sitting in nursing school and one of the instructors is telling the story.
oh my God.
And I raised my hand. I said, I was there. I was the scrub tech that night.
Oh
And
my
she goes,
God.
really? And I said, yes. And let me tell you the funny part. So because it's a training hospital, we always had training anesthesiologists and some from all over the world. We even had some from Russia, etc. Anyway,
Mm.
so they always have a set questions that they ask the patient because you don't want you need to know whether or not they ate or drank, right?
Right.
So they're going. I'm already set up, and I'm leaning over the desk. This is
I think
outside
I
of the
know where this
OR.
is coming.
Yeah, I'm
Where
leaning
this
over
is
the desk
coming.
talking to the charge nurse. And no shit of a lie. The anesthesiology student says, "Have you had anything to eat or drink today?"
Oh God.
And the anesthesiologist in charge looked at him and said, "His balls."
Oh, oh, oh,
So then the trainee says, and
oh,
now I'm
geez.
following them because they this was all said, they're walking by me. Now they're here, so I'm following them into the OR so I can scrub
Oh my
in.
God.
And he goes, "Why did you eat your testicles?"
Oh my God.
And the guy said, "I didn't want nobody to get my good testicles."
Oh my God.
And that was it.
Oh, oh,
Like,
oh my
I have
God.
lots of stories like, well, that's about the funniest one. And the funniest thing was that it was really funny to be sitting in nursing school years later and the instructor
It
is
comes
telling
up.
the story because that story, the medical community is pretty small when it comes to
Yes.
stuff like
Kind of
that.
like
That just spreads
more.
from
That's
OR
like
to OR.
That's something you're not likely to forget.
No, he had a
I'm
reason,
never going to
Jennifer.
forget it, I can tell you.
Ronnie, makes sense.
I like that
Oh,
his wife said which Albertson, so I never go
yeah.
there.
Almost like she was expecting it, like,
Yeah, well, yeah, he ended up in psych, of course.
oh, geez. Oh, God, I hope he didn't get out anytime too soon.
I don't know. It was years and years and years ago. See, it was in the 90s sometime.
Wow.
I
Oh,
can't
my
tell. I
God.
don't tell recent stories because HIPAA. I don't want to
Right.
if it's happened a long time ago. And a lot of the surgeon stories, I tell you, those surgeons have already passed. Because
Wow.
I went at it for a long time. I was at it for a long time. So
Yeah, you see a lot of things when you're one place or in
yeah,
one field for a long time, that's for sure.
yeah.
Oh, my
So
God.
that's my OR story that I was holding for members only, but I decided if I make it so that only subscribers can come in, it'll be all
Yes.
right.
Yes. Thanks, Julie. That made my night.
I don't want nobody to get my good testicles. Okay.
Searing that into my memory.
So here's another thing that Jackie brought me.
How cute.
It is freaking adorable.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
And you know what it reminds me of, even though it's a Boyd's bear? Doesn't it look like Emmett Otter from Emmett Otter's Jug Bank Christmas?
Yes, it's adorable.
Oh, okay. And Craig's in trouble because look,
Now what'd he do?
he found me this and I could not pass it up.
No was not an option. And
No
now I
was
want
not
one.
an option. Oh, Craig. My new favorite bag.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to cover the top here.
Ooh.
It's wrinkled. It's wrinkled. And it doesn't
Oh,
quite
really?
look right, does it? I have it a little bit stuffed.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Uh-huh. It's a bally.
I've seen some of these valleys. Yes, they have amazing leather.
And
And it of course looks like something
uh-huh.
else.
It's a zip top.
Oh man.
Okay. So you don't have to fold the flap in to use it.
Oh,
But this does open, and this is a
okay.
front, and it is a front pocket.
That's amazing. That is absolutely
Jackie opened
amazing.
it when she was here.
I
Wow.
totally opened it. I was like, I looked appalled
Somebody had
all
it
over that
flattened.
bag. I'm like,
I'm
this bag is
sure. Oh
amazing.
man. Eva got a couple of Hermes looking Bally bags recently.
Oh, did she?
And yeah, they're gorgeous. Gorgeous, but not quite the same as that. That's really unique with that zip top.
Steph, we totally missed it. He could have paired it with a nice Chianti.
And some fava beans.
I don't like the Kelly as much, Craig, because I don't like that single handle.
I'm okay with the
His
single
testicles.
handle.
Oh,
I'm questioning how we
missed
could
such a
go from a
mess.
dude eating his testicles. I'm sorry. I'm hard because I was in the OR. Well, I was in the military, and then I was in the OR for 30 years. So
Wow. Oh God. Oh.
yeah, Craig. I told him I wanted a Birkin, but a zip top, which doesn't exist. So of course he finds it.
That's basically it. Absolutely gorgeous.
Okay, that was fun. Oh, and Jackie got me this. I think I'm going to put it on that bag, actually.
Well, guys, I bought my last one off of Amazon because they have a Pop Mart store on Amazon. So anybody who's looking for them, that's adorable, Jolie. Anybody who's looking for them, they are 100% legitimate because it's from Pop Mart. It's their Amazon storefront. And
Craig
I
pays
got one of the have
attention.
a seats. And today they had the purple, I can't remember what that
Oh, with the
collection is
wings
from.
or whatever it was?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if they still have them available, but they might. But they've had the have a seats for quite some time on there. And it seems like they're restocking really often, but they're not available on the website. You have to go and do it through Amazon.
Yeah. Um,
Do that.
Let me see.
Because I've been going to
Who
the
asked?
website and it's just been like, they're never available.
You
Never.
never could get it. And when they say that they're going to have them and it's going to launch at whatever time, you can't get it. It was like the Coach drop today.
Oh, the nightmare
yeah.
of that drop. Oh my God.
It was a nightmare. Really, it was a nightmare.
eBay,
I
Christiana.
don't understand
Japanese seller.
You know?
What's that, Jack?
Well, it's like Coach didn't understand that e-commerce and that because they only have Coach, it's a Coach outlet bag. You can only get it from
Right.
CoachOutlet.com or a Coach outlet store. People are going to swamp it. And it was glitching the whole day. It's like glitch, 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 coming soon, and then it never happened. And they just took it right off. It's like
It was that way since midnight last night because a bunch of us were waiting for them to drop. And there were at least 2 things where it just said error. It was horrible, horrible. And then they took the whole site offline at about 1 o'clock. And then I woke up to use the little potty room at around 2:30. And I thought, well, let me just check just in case. And the website was back up and there were some things that were back on there. But as of this morning, there were still bags that were showing sold out. But I wound up getting something because I clicked on it, even though it said sold out. And when you clicked, it said add to cart.
Oh, so it was just a glitch.
It must have been. But it was a nightmare. They should have never let that go live like that. I'd say it was worse than the Murakami drop, only because you couldn't pre-order anything. There was no way to pre-order this through an SA. You just had to either show up early at the boutique or be there for the drop. Because they put these things on TikTok from so long ago, like weeks and
Yeah.
weeks ago, people were watching, and you'd see on the one bag it would say like 16,000 something something people looked at this in the last 24 hours. So they knew it was going to be a really
Yes.
popular drop. They should have made plans to make sure that their website was running properly, which a lot of times it doesn't.
Right. Morella wants to know what you got, Don.
It's a secret. I got three things, and they're all
She's gonna
bags.
do a video.
I'm going to do a video because there's part more of the story of what happened, because of course I'm going to have to vent. So I'm
Yes.
partially venting here, but I want to
Oh,
vent
you can
more
vent all over again.
in the
That's
video.
fine.
But I will say I'm going to have one bag that I'm not going to keep, and that's only because I ordered it thinking that I wasn't going to be able to get the bag that I wanted. So
Right.
I'm not going to be able to keep all three of these bags. So if anybody wants this one bag, I'll tell you when the video goes up. I'll sell it for what I paid for it, which was, $149. If that gives you a hint. So, but
Right. Oh, as soon as I heard all that going on, I told Matt tonight, I said I should have ran over to the outlet and picked up a couple of those
and you're not
bags.
far from it, are you?
Well, it's over at Daytona, so there's one over. I used to live right next to it, but it's an hour away over in Daytona now.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I would have had to stayed home from work, and we've had really terrible weather and whatnot. And now that we're not working from home and we're not allowed to, if I don't feel well, I have to take a day off. And I really didn't feel like taking a day off this week because I had to take off 2 days last week when it was like 7 degrees for the high.
I don't like that because if you're being forced back to work now, it's going to go across. New York does everything first. So,
Well, I'm in Philly, and this is Philly
well,
city
Phil and
government.
Philly too. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is Philly city government because our mayor basically wants people in the office to revitalize Center City, Philly. And I know, Jolie, you're familiar with Philly because you've gone down there and you've been,
A lot. Yeah.
you know, you've been there, and our Center City is absolutely abysmal. I mean, I know people disagree. There's a couple of nice restaurants, but there's no shopping. It's downright
Mm-mm.
dangerous in some places. I would never think about walking or parking my car or anywhere there where I wasn't with a group of people and would have to walk someplace. Pretty much well, they shut down all the Wawas because the Wawas were getting robbed and getting, you know,
That
invaded
sucks.
by kids and whatnot, and people starting trouble. They've had to close banks because the banks have been robbed so many times. I mean, it's really not good. So she
Now,
thinks by people going in that we're going to be spending money in all the restaurants
yeah,
because so many
okay.
places closed with COVID. And when the cheerful chief of staff in my unit said, "Well, now that we're all here, make sure you go take a break and go to lunch and go take a walk." And I said, "Well, I really can't walk. I'm not leaving my desk." I said, "I'm lucky if I could get to the Wawa. I can't spend an hour walking around because I have joint problems, which you already know about." So I was kind of like, why would you tell people this and expect things from people that aren't going to be possible? And it's kind of like rubbing it in your face that
Exactly.
now we want to force you to do these things. So, yes,
It really sucks, especially that you can't get a waiver considering that you can work from home. It is
right,
possible.
right.
So,
Of course,
what's
it's
the point?
possible. We did it for 4 years,
Yes.
totally remote. And my department, we don't ever have to face with a single soul. We don't even make phone calls. Everything's done over the computer via email and other programs. So, yeah, there's that.
It's
So
absolutely
now,
absurd.
yes. So now, anytime something happens, if I have a doctor's appointment, it's a sick day. I was almost on the sick abuse list last year because I took one too many undocumented sick days without a doctor's note because I wake up and, maybe I can't put shoes on because my foot's so swollen and I can't get to work. So what am I going to do? And if I don't use the sick day, I have to use a vacation day, and I've burned a lot of vacation days. All this so that they could keep, a couple of lunch places in business, and you have people that are miserable. But really, what it's doing is forcing people into early retirement, which is what I think they wanted people
That's
to do. So you see what's happening in other places, but I think that that's the mission
Oh
because
yeah,
people
they
who come
don't want
in,
people to retire.
right,
They don't want people to retire at to retirement age. They want you out early. And the
right,
problem with that is they also want to take away Social Security.
right. Well, what they're doing, well, what they already did with us as of like two contracts ago, new hires don't get a pension. New hires get like some kind of a 401k or some other thing. I don't even know what other options there are because I get a city pension. So
Yeah, they took
I
away Matt's pension too.
that's horrible, horrible. So they want to get rid of people that they want to, or that they're going to have to pay a pension to, because all the new hires, they're not going to have to do that. So it's a lot cheaper to keep them.
Yeah, companies stopped giving pensions. Well, as soon as they started
Yep,
sending all of our manufacturing overseas
yep,
in the 80s, it was the
yep,
beginning of the end. It was the beginning of the end for America producing anything.
yep.
And it just, yeah, we don't have the infrastructure anymore.
And it's foolish to think that it's going to come back because it's not. It's never going to come back.
No.
And if it does come back, you're talking about like ten times goods and services, the price is going way the hell up and nobody's going to be able to afford them because they're not going to pay somebody $15 an hour when they could pay somebody overseas 50 cents to do the same work. So, all right, I'm done my rant.
Now, where
That's
I
all.
stayed, do you know where Jefferson Memorial is?
Of course I do.
Well, there's a little hotel. I don't remember what the name of it was, but it's right there where I could just walk down the street into
Yes.
Jefferson Memorial. So,
Jefferson
yeah,
on Walnut Street.
yeah.
Yes. Yep.
I was going to the cancer center there.
Yep.
Every few months, I was coming up on the train, taking a cab from the train station over to a hotel, and then I would walk to Jefferson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a scary walk.
You know what I like about being in Philly? Everybody can pronounce my name, and
Yes.
and we can understand each other
Exactly.
because
Because
everybody's literate, where I don't have that here.
yeah, yeah, I could see that. I definitely could see that. But also, people from
Why?
Florida don't have much of an accent, so that helps a lot. But yeah,
How did they
Um,
say your name wrong?
oh, when my name is read down here, it's Julie Roberts.
Really?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Wow.
crazy.
Julie? I didn't
Julie Roberts.
I didn't know how you could misunderstand Jolie.
No, me neither.
But I
That's
would walk in there and they would say Jolie Boberts. And I was like,
wow, wow.
and they pronounced all the medical words right, no matter if I was talking to a receptionist,
Yes,
or I mean, I was like, wow. I would always tell Matt, I was like, those people in Philly are so smart compared to these people down here.
Jefferson is a good hospital, and that
Yeah,
particular Jefferson is a really good location. It's a teaching hospital, and they're pretty nationally known, so I'm not
yeah.
really surprised. And I've known people who've worked there in different positions, and they're very particular when they hire. They want to hire, good and sensible people and not just to fill a blank.
Katie, reading is fundamental. Yeah,
Exactly.
it was just I was just I've never been surrounded by, well, when I'm actually inside the OR working in the operating room here, I get the same, kind of people that can
Yeah,
speak English, and well, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be English, but they understand all the medical words and
right.
they're fast and all that. But outside of the OR, no. When I go out here
Wow.
and get into the people can
in the
barely read and
community.
write. Yeah.
God.
Well,
Oh God.
when I was on my cruise, so when we left out of Fort Lauderdale, I've been on cruises out of Galveston, Texas, and out of Fort Lauderdale. The cruise out of Fort Lauderdale over to the Bahamas, and it's a Disney cruise. Most people on my boat didn't speak English, and I'm not talking staff. I'm talking people
Uh-huh.
on the boat on the
Oh wow.
vacation. Most of the people on that vacation were all speaking another language. It was very interesting, and I said, when we leave out of Galveston, it's not like this. In
Yeah.
out of the Texas port, it's all English people on that boat, and because we're going over to Mexico. I mean, when you're going out of
Yeah.
Galveston, you're going to Cozumel and you're going to Progreso, the Yucatan. But if you're going out of Fort Lauderdale, you're going to the Bahamas. But
Well, you have more Spanish speaking people in Texas too, so that makes a
oh yeah,
big difference.
yeah.
And yeah, I could kind of see that. But also, I would assume that there's more tourists in Fort Lauderdale as well.
Partially, I did between Orlando and Fort Lauderdale. It's all just foreign people. Honestly, people just
Wow.
what does it say, Joey? I can't see it.
Oh, he's sending me another bag. Sinner.
Oh,
Craig.
Sinner. Yes.
oh man, that's
But
beautiful.
when I drove up to where
Wow.
Jolie lives, it's a whole different planet. It's not the same.
I don't
Not
mind
the
if you
same.
can't. I don't mind if English is not your first language. That's not what I'm talking about.
No, no.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about English being your only language and you can't speak
And you
it.
can't speak it. Yeah, exactly. It really just it baffles me because that's just a matter of education. But no, I know exactly what you're saying, and yeah, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, I
So
was super impressed.
anyway, that FAA report came out and they had fired the 100 people out of, and that tower is supposed to have 30 people working in it. But because of the threats and everything, the Hispanics didn't come to work.
Yeah,
There were 19 people running a tower that's supposed to have 30 in it.
that's
And
scary. That's just oh
I
my
learned,
God.
which I did not know, that airplanes and helicopters are on different frequencies and can't hear each other. So
I
if
had heard
nobody
that.
else catches it, they never knew each other were in the air.
Oh
I
my
couldn't even
God.
figure out how in the heck the helicopter would do that. Like I was sitting talking to James, like how do they not know
American
each other?
Airlines.
Wow.
Um,
Mm.
yeah. So and a helicopter small is not going to get picked up on the radar.
Oh
Not
my
quick
God.
enough for a plane flying. They're too fast. It's all too
Mm-mm.
fast. Yeah. And then to say what he said
Yeah, that was
really
just mind
pissed me
blowing.
off.
Yeah, but people
It,
still pick up for him, so I just don't get that.
I don't either.
Really, I don't. I just can't. And you're faced with a tragedy, and you don't have the common sense to just be comforting to the families and the friends and the
You should have been a
survivors of
comfort
those
and saying that it would,
involved.
yeah, and
Yeah.
saying that it would never happen again and that they would
Well,
do
it's like when
everything
he
they
went to
could.
Puerto Rico and threw toilet paper towels. Remember
Yeah.
that? Yeah. But
Kind
anyway,
of insensitive. Kind of the Marie Antoinette moment of you know,
You let them
yeah,
eat cake, yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
basically.
yeah.
which she never said, but she still got her head cut off, so what's the difference?
Right,
It's
right,
so fun. It's so
exactly.
interesting to say. Come on. We
Well,
all, even
well,
if she never said it, we all think she said it.
All
okay.
right. It's
Here's
attributed
here's
to
what
her, yeah.
happened. Here's what happened with Marie Antoinette because I studied French and I studied
Hmm.
French history and whatnot. Marie Antoinette didn't speak French. Okay, she
Austrian,
spoke
right?
French, but she was Austrian and she was not a native French speaker. And when
Right.
she heard that they didn't have bread, she thought, well, let them eat something else. And that's how she,
Was
instead of
taken.
saying something what she wanted to say, it came out as let them eat cake. But she
Which
didn't mean it to
sounds
be
terrible.
well, of course it sounds terrible, but she didn't know. It
Right.
was just like the girl in my French class who was trying to say button in French, and she said bouton, which is a whore in Italian. But the pronunciation, of course, when she said it, there's a very big difference. So,
Yes.
those kind of things unfortunately do happen because there's nuances with language, and she
Yes.
got beheaded over that basically. So,
I
yeah.
worked with a native with a nurse from Quebec, and her
Okay.
English was absolutely terrible. And she didn't help herself because all of her recreational reading was in French, and
Yep.
that did not help her. And she used to work in the recovery room, and they moved her to the OR. And the reason that they did is because the doctors were complaining.
Wow.
Every time she wakes somebody up, they think they're in a foreign country. She didn't, she didn't like, she wasn't practicing enough. And so instead
Well,
of saying, bring me the garbage, like when you're prepping a patient, one
yeah.
of the techs will bring you the garbage. She would say, approach the garbage to me. And of course, the
God.
smart aleck young men who were techs in the OR would
Oh my
say, would
God.
walk over to the garbage and stand there. Well, I've approached the garbage, like that. And I'm like, you know what she means. Come
Well,
on.
I do know that Quebecers are very protective of their language, which isn't France French, because they basically have their own. Quebec French is not standard French from France.
Okay.
Okay. They have different words, even their accent's a little bit different. So if you're from France, you can understand each other, but it's not going to be the same. It's kind of like, if we go to Britain and they have different words and different slangs and whatnot. So that's kind of the way it is. And a lot of them are very insular. They don't like to leave Quebec. They don't like to leave that French community,
Right.
and they expect that
Well,
it's going to be like that wherever they go, which is crazy because if
mm,
you're in the United States, you need to, like, great, you want to have your language, but you should be able to communicate with people,
yeah,
you
Maria.
know.
Maria, my mother's, let me see. My
Oh, hi,
mother's my
Maria.
mother's father. So my grandfather on my mother's side was from Quebec, and his parents moved from Quebec to Indiana, of all places,
Wow.
when he was in the fourth grade, and so he only spoke Quebec French
Right.
um, until he started learning it here in the fourth grade. And I don't think his parents ever learned, to really speak
I
good
wouldn't be
English.
surprised. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So if you look at I did the 23andMe.
Let me just say, just real quick, Maria, I'm not talking about you because you're not a French Canadian. You're just someone who lives in Canada. You're not, it's not the
She
same. You
lives in
didn't grow up
Quebec.
there.
She lives in Quebec, doesn't she?
Yes. But
Um,
she's not French Canadian. So
right.
that's, we're talking about French Canadians like this
My
woman, and not
my people were French Canadian. So
really.
if you look at my 23andMe, I'm almost a perfect 50-50 split of
Wow.
England, because my name was Stanfield, which is very,
Wow.
my dad's name was H.G. Stanfield, actually, like H.G. Wells. And then on my mom's side, it's France, one area of France, one
Wow.
area of England, and then there's 0.5% Native American from somebody on my dad's side.
Wow, that's very
Yeah,
unusual. Most people aren't quite that evenly split. I mean,
yeah,
I know I'm 100% half Italian because my
100%
my
half.
half, but I really have no idea specifically what's in the other half because, they were Austrian and English and maybe a little bit of Irish, but who knows, like, way back generations.
Yeah, I always thought growing up there was Irish because my aunts would always tell me that. They were wrong. It was all French. It was all French and English.
Yeah.
Well, do you have anything to show? Oh, you can't. You're gonna make a video.
I gotta wait for my stuff to come, which hopefully it'll
Oh,
be shipped like kind of soon. So
this was
we'll
only
see.
$20. Um, because I wanted to do a little bit of an investigation. I got one of the Rachel bags a long time ago for like $9 from Fossil,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's like the Sydney. So I wanted to get a Sydney because I wanted to do a little. Let's see what this looks like. I wanted to
Comparison.
do a little bit of investigation as to why the planner community went so wild for these a few years ago,
Wow.
and I think I know why. Because they are much like the Speedy. Wow. Okay.
Oh,
Kind of
that's
wadded
nice.
up.
That's nice. I love the color.
That's
It's
beautiful. It's
Yeah,
bigger
that's a
than
It
my
nice
looks pretty
bag.
good.
satchel.
I
Hmm.
need to squish it out. It looks pretty bad. Pretty
Maybe
good.
it's because of the size of it.
Yeah, it's
Jolie,
perfect for
do you
planners.
use fountain pens? Okay. I'm asking because I want to get some kind of a we'll have to chat about this too. I wanted to know if you could recommend a good case for fountain pens because I have pens in like these soft sided cases here, and I'm thinking that they're going to wind up banging into each other and getting pretty bad leaks if I'm not careful.
you you live in Philly. Are you
Yep.
anywhere near a Japanese shop?
No, unfortunately. The closest one to me would be a decent distance in Jersey, like an hour away, like a really good one. And I think that there's one that's maybe it's not that far of a distance, but it's really like an ordeal to get there because there's no direct way to go. So it would take me probably over an hour, like the same hour that I would go to Jersey. And yeah, it would be rough. I keep looking and hoping that they would open one somewhere, but unfortunately, not that I'm aware of.
Keith, I have mainly all starter pens. I um
Hi, Keith.
have uh Twisbees, I have Lammies,
I want
and
a
I
Twisby.
have, but my favorite writer was the cheapest one. They're about $14 on Amazon. They're called the Kakuna.
Oh, I've seen those. Yes.
I think I'm saying I might be lying to you. Yeah,
Well,
Kakuna.
I
This is
have
a
this Lammy.
Kakuna. Oh,
Oh,
I have
that's
that.
nice.
Yeah, and it writes really smoothly.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna have to give that a try.
And you held up that Lammy. I was going to say that looks familiar.
Yeah. Aha! Great minds think alike. So I have the Lammy, and then I recently bought, and these were really cheap as chips, but I'm really liking this pen.
Oh,
What
that's
is
cute.
this?
These are
This
my
is an
Lammies.
imitation sailor. Jinhao, I think is the name of the brand.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Okay, so you got a little jar.
Yeah, for
And then I have
those.
one that came with something that Naomi sent to me, which is an awesome, awesome pen. And it's not a cheap fountain pen. And I don't have it handy right now, but it's really, really a nice one. And then I have the Louis Vuitton pen, which is in its own little pen pouch. This is the one
Right.
that Ed gave to me, which I had to go through that whole rigmarole to try to get refilled.
Yes.
But finally I did, and now I know that instead of paying like $15 each refill, I could get them for $4.99 on Amazon.
Right. Because you just got to
So
know exactly which one to get.
right, right.
Um, I want, um, I want a Pilot Vanishing Point eventually.
I've seen those. They look really, really nice. And I would like a Monteverde. I've seen those too. And they're really beautiful and they're not horribly priced. I can't see what Keith is saying.
Oh, I got a box. I don't have it now, but I'll bring it up. I'll show you on Sunday.
Oh, I
I
love
have
unis.
I have a box of disposable fountain pens, and they write great.
I have one of
Um,
those two or two of those from, I think they're zebra. Mine are zebra.
they're called the something to do with college. The I can't remember.
Okay.
I might be looking on Amazon at pens right now. Just, I'm listening
That's
and
dangerous,
It's
scrolling.
Jackie.
dangerous,
It's
Jackie. But
dangerous.
if you
I
do
mean,
want to try a fountain pen, I would try the Kakuna because you don't need ink or any of that. This is
is
this
it
is
cartridge?
this is a cartridge.
Okay.
So when you put a new ink in it, you just buy the little cartridges
Yes.
that go in, and they're cheap.
See, mine came with these here are, okay, so there were three. There's this one.
Oh, those are the Jin Haos, aren't they? They're the
Yes.
like the copy of
Yes.
the yeah.
There's this one, and then do I have one here? I think I do have one here. And oh no, I don't have one there. Oh, where's my other pen?
Hate
Oh
that.
no,
I don't know where my
no,
other Twisby is right now.
no! I gotta find my other pen. But anyway, you can use a cartridge with them. But when I tried the cartridges that I had, I couldn't use the cartridge in it. So I was very brave, and I bought the ink. And look, these twist off. These are only like $10 on Amazon. These twist off, okay? And I actually was able to use the piston
Converter?
hoo-ha that's in here, yes,
Oh, it has a
and
piston in it?
fill it. It's got the
Yeah.
piston, yes.
That's how these are. And this one's clear, so I can show you guys. So look
Ooh.
at that. You screw it down, like
Oh,
get
that's
out,
cool.
and then you screw it back up and it sucks the ink up in it.
Well,
So
now that I discovered that there's inks with like these pearlescent and color changing features, like I want them.
trying to get my trying to get
Okay.
my yeah, I was looking now those will clog up your pens, so use those on your cheaper pens.
Yes.
But they're fun. I was watching somebody go through and swatch a bunch of them because they make advent calendars with inks,
I've
and
seen
I
those.
watched
Yes.
those all during. So I was like, I'm so behind on everything because my dirty little secret is I'm watching planner porn and fountain
Yeah.
pen
Yeah.
porn.
I watch a lot of pen porn recently. And yeah. It's a rabbit hole,
It
and
is.
you get sucked down it really, really quickly.
And if you like to handwrite, which us
I
older
do.
folks do,
Gen
then
X,
you
we
you
right.
love trying all these different pens. It's
Absolutely.
so fun.
Oh my
I've
God,
even ordered
absolutely.
another book because I'm just filling up books, just writing stuff.
Yeah, I have
It's a fun
journals like
hobby.
everywhere. It is. It's just crazy. Planners and books, I have them everywhere. So, Jolie, I would love to do a planning video with you one day.
Oh, okay.
I've been
Yes.
wanting to do it for a really, really long time, but honestly, like weekends have been nuts because since they brought me back to the office, let me play the violin.
Uh,
My weekends are spent doing housework a lot of times,
yeah.
and I don't get a chance to do fun things.
I was
But
shocked when
I
I
like to
worked from home a
schedule it.
few days
Yeah.
how much laundry you can accomplish just by working at home.
Oh my
Oh,
God, it's
yeah.
amazing.
You
You
take a
get
break, go
everything
do it.
done. Like if you have an hour that you're home each day during the week, come Saturday, there's nothing to do because you've now vacuumed, you've mopped, you've
Uh-huh.
done the laundry, you've changed the beds, you've cleaned the bathroom, and it's only me and just Henry now. I mean, there's not people to pick up after. There's no other stuff going on, so I could get through it. But you spend those same 5 hours between Saturday and Sunday, and like that wrecks your whole time.
That is, yeah,
Yep.
that is,
Sucks.
that's, they, somebody needs to
But
come
I
in and
would
clean
like
your
to do a
house.
planning video if you wanted to do that one day,
Absolutely.
because I
Absolutely.
definitely would like to get into showing like what I'm using and stuff like that because
I
it's
just ordered
fun.
another one because I thought I was just going to do tiny planning. and all of
Okay,
my books are tiny, and I'm
me
filling
too.
them up. So I ordered the cousin, which I've used.
I
This will
like
be
the cousin.
the third year, so I'll back plan January because it's all written in little book.
Right, right.
So, but I'm just going to pick up from there, and so yeah,
So I have this little Jaboon Techo, which is a B6 Slim, which I really, really
yeah.
do love. I think it's a little bit smaller
B6
than the
people love.
cousin,
Yeah.
but it's good. But I also have another tiny one that I picked up just for YouTube planning, and I think that it's too tiny, so I think I might have to scrap it and get
A6 or
into something else. No, it's smaller than a B6. Wait a minute, I'll show you.
oh, an A6?
No, it's not even like a standard size, I don't think. Wait a minute, I'll show
Oh, you need to
you.
try the Hobonichi Weeks for planning for YouTube.
That's what I really wanted, or something that with that setup where you have
The
your
weeks
dates on the
yeah,
left and then your notes on the right. But here's
yeah,
the B6 Slim. This is the Jaboon.
right.
And then this is,
It's about the same size. Well, it's a little smaller, I
no,
guess.
it's smaller. This is Clever Fox. And it's definitely smaller and it's slimmer. So you see, you got a little bit of
It's
room.
it's a nice looking little book. What
It's a
kind of
very
paper
nice
is in
looking
it?
book. The paper's nice. I mean, everything's nice, but I'll show you. Here's the layout. It's
Oh,
not awful, but I just kind of feel like,
that's kind of like the weeks, but it's smaller. And then the weeks has a
right,
bunch of pages in the back, so you can like have more
right. And you
notes.
could get the Weeks Mega and get the more
Yes.
pages in the back.
Yeah. It's a good
But
book.
I think that because you only have your notes in this tiny little section and this part here has already been cleaned,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not great. And then there's no note paper in the back.
Okay, yeah. That
But I did get
disqualifies it
stickers
for me.
with it. Yeah, yeah. So I think I might have to hunt down a week's
Yeah.
and transfer into that, unfortunately.
What bag are you carrying right now?
My never full,
Okay.
you been never full, MM.
So
I've been too lazy
Keith
to
has a
switch out of
question,
it.
Dawn. Keith
Yes.
has a question. He wants to know, when did you return back to the office? I'm scared they're going to make us return soon, says Keith.
Oh, God. They brought us back in the office full time since July.
Ooh.
So it's been 6 months. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. Yep. And each day it just gets a little bit harder and harder and harder and harder. Because with the RA, it's more steps that I have to climb. It's standing and waiting for the train. It's all that getting there, which is really difficult for me to do every day. I don't have an option now to not do it if I don't feel well. I have to, again, stay home and burn my time. And a lot of people would say, oh, well, you did it for all those years, but A, I was younger. B, I was on different medications then, which I can't take anymore. So you factor all those things in, and it's a progressive thing, so it doesn't get better; it just gets worse, and
There has to
that's
be
that's where it
a
is.
way for a doctor to give you some.
My
You have to
doctor will
talk
give
to
it. My doctor will give it, but
HR. HR won't let you
how
use it,
about when I handed in my paperwork for HR and said I needed FMLA when I was getting chemo and when I had my surgery?
right?
I turned in a note for FMLA
Yeah.
one day and I was asked, why are you turning this note in for FMLA? You were given 4 weeks off from like August 1st until September 1st for the birth of your child.
What?
And I said, how in the hell did you read through 6 pages of paperwork that explained that I had cancer and that I would need intermittent time to go get chemo and translate this into the birth of a baby and only approved me for a month? I said, and I never got a letter. I said, when do you have a cancer patient who's not permitted time
To get
to
chemo.
get treatment? I've never heard of that in my life. So, yeah, these are the kind of incompetent
America.
people Yeah. These are the incompetent people that work in my HR department and how caring they are at a social services agency.
Oh, you
I'm
work at
just
a
saying.
social.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I was sitting in the break area eating lunch one day when I worked at a level 2 trauma center.
Ugh.
And we had some social workers there that worked in the hospital and outside of the hospital, but they would come and
Oh,
go. So I got to know him a little bit. And he said, I'm a social worker. I can't even afford my rent.
oh, and the private agencies, they make no money. It's terrible. It's really terrible. I mean, I will say the city of Philadelphia pays us well. I can't say that they don't. And since I'm not a social worker anymore and
Right.
was promoted, they just bumped us up again because they had originally bumped some of the social workers up to analyst pay and tried to make it like we did the same work. And thank God for the union, they were able to fight and get us the class
Those are
increase.
going away. If he has his say, there will be no more unions.
Correct. That's correct. And we'll just be at the mercy of people who don't want to pay anybody what they're worth. But at
And
any rate,
we don't have health care. And
no,
then if you get sick, they're not going to let you work. And the only way
no,
you can get health care is if you work. So, yeah.
yes. So it's back to that. But yeah, um, excuse me. We are paid really well, but when I was someone who did not investigations but evaluations, so I would go
Right.
out and I
Go
would
out in
do
homes.
evaluations and go on site to evaluate agencies. I knew what everybody in that agency made. And we were making more than the directors. And we weren't even, I mean, we're not that high up the food chain, but that's how poorly they were paid. As, like the head of the agency.
Wow.
So, yeah, but this is, nobody really thinks that doing those kind of jobs. I even had someone tell me one time that they were shocked that I had a college degree because social work was a helping profession. And I said, but aren't doctors in the
What?
helping profession? Yeah. Yeah.
You
I'm
have to
telling you,
have
I
a
could
degree
write
to
a
be a
book with
social worker?
stupidity. Yeah. Yeah. This is somebody that I went to school with who, when I first started my job and I said, I passed probation and I was permanent. And he says, well, I'm sure that you must have been, and I'm sure that you're, more educated than other people since you have a degree. And I said, excuse me? I said, there's people with doctorates. I said, my
Yes.
bachelor's is like shit. It doesn't mean anything. I said, you need at least a bachelor's. Oh, well, I didn't know that. I thought since it was a helping profession.
Yeah, they probably think nurses don't need degrees either.
Right. Like the clerks at Target are in a helping profession too, but it's because it's kind of helping, you know, yeah. And a lot of people don't realize that department stores, most of those department managers there have degrees, as do some other positions there, beyond just working at the cash register. So, but people are stupid and they don't really go outside of what they know. So, whatever.
Uh, yeah.
Oh, God. Anyway, yeah, this
Happy,
was so
happy, joy,
cathartic,
joy,
Julie.
happy, happy, joy, joy.
This was so cathartic. I love it.
It's fun to come on and bitch though, because
It
it's
is.
just
Oh, Jackie, how cute. Sometimes you have to let it out, and even if nobody hears you, Henry's
yeah.
tired of hearing it, so
He's like,
I
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
look.
ma, yeah, yeah,
I
ma.
gotta look at his poor little face every morning when I leave, and he's like this.
You're
Why,
seriously
mommy?
leaving? What are you
Why?
leaving? Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
And now he's alone, so it's not like he's got his brother that would be here with him all day. He's by
Right?
himself.
You're not going to get him a kitten?
If the universe gives us a kitten, and the feline distribution system works that way,
It does.
when it's time, just like I got Henry, when it's time, one will appear.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting, and we're going to wait and see. We have a possum that comes to visit, but he can't come in.
Well, why
Our
not?
pugs,
They like cat food.
I
that's
leave the
true.
cat food. Okay. Yeah.
Our pugs went to spend 10
Look
days with
what Greg said.
Granny. Oh, Dawn, let me send you Malcolm. Oh, Malcolm is the demon cat.
The
But
demon
Malcolm
Oh,
he's a Maine Coon, and here's the thing. But here's the thing,
gorgeous.
Dawn. Malcolm loves Travis, but
Yes.
it's Craig who is home. So Craig is like,
Oh.
Malcolm looks at Craig like, you are my staff. And then Travis
Yeah.
is home, and Malcolm's like, you're so I love you so much, and you are a terror of a cat. So
My Henry's so polite.
Wednesday and Pugsley went to daycare when we were on our vacation,
Oh,
and everybody fell in love with Miss Wednesday. They thought she was the sweetest
I
pug you've
bet.
ever met. She is, and he got designated as, well, he's special.
Oh, geez.
He's special. He'll need a waiver to come back. No, I'm just kidding.
We're like, oh, Wednesday, lovely. We love Wednesday. And well, how did Pugsley do? Like, he's okay.
Oh, that's a sin. Oh, poor baby.
They're so happy. So when they saw James, I mean, you've not ever.
Stephanie. Or Steph. I could be a dude, and I'm called.
Henry would do really well with the Maine Coon because he's such a chunk.
Sorry, I'll crack it off.
Well, anyway, I'm still coming off my 20-hour drive.
She needs to go to
So,
bed. I can tell by
go to
looking at her
bed.
face.
That's the thing. Yeah, get some rest, Jackie. I gotta go to bed too because I was up with the damn coach drop last night and I'm exhausted. So
now let's hope the shipments ship.
Actually
Nothing's canceled, and there's no issues with the items.
exactly,
Right.
exactly. That's why I'm just getting everything shipped here. And if I don't return the item, I just kind of feel like this. I know how difficult it was, and I know how people really wanted some of these things. So if there's anything, which I'm pretty sure that there's one thing that I'm not going to keep, I would rather have somebody who wants it get it
Yes.
than to sell it somewhere or to bring it back. And, it's just fair. And I would never ask for more than what I paid for it. It would be brand new. So, whatever it was, with tax and shipping and whatnot, but I'm not looking to make money. I'm just looking to make someone happy.
Yes.
Make someone happy. So there you go. All right, I'm going to go because my battery's almost dead.
Good night. Thank you for stopping by.
Good night. Oh, thank you for having me.
With you.
Thanks, you too, Jolie, Jackie. Bye. She's gone already.
Yeah. She's like, I got to go to bed. I could tell by her face.
Yes.
Have a great night.
I get it. You too.
And a good Friday. Bye-bye.
You too.